Greetings, all of you vintage audio enthusiasts, and in particular, you who dig vintage and collectible synthesizers. I am Retro Ernest of Retro Electrotech, and I wanted to quickly return to this Italian-made Siel Cruise synthesizer. And as you can see, all the control boards are now pulled and ready for further inspection, cleaning and relubrication of all switches and variable resistors, also known in this application as sliders. I also have the power supply board removed so that I can perform the needed work on it. However, the main reason for this short video is to point out another problem I discovered while looking into leveling this D key, D as in Delta, which was riding high above all the other keys. Or in other words, it was being pulled upward by spring tension applied to the back of the key here. And the reason for this is it's not being held in alignment by the following structure I'm going to zoom into. So let me do that. So notice these protrusions here, okay? These structures here, these protrusions, or stops, if you will, which limit the travel of the key. So for example, you'll notice, and of course I have the key upside down obviously, but you notice this portion in here. Well, this is the area where the end of that protrusion resides, okay? So the travel of the key is limited by that protrusion. And the end of the stop, you'll notice, is where the rubber key bushing is located, which cushions the key. Every time that it's pressed, it's cushioned against this bushing so that you don't get that clankety clankety sound and all that. So as some of you have already noticed, the structure that I'm referring to is busted off right here, and this is obviously the position of that D key that I just pointed out. And without that protrusion or stop extending forward, there is nothing to limit the travel of this key, and as a result it is pulled upward by the tension applied by that back spring. Okay, so when when the key is pulled down and it has nothing to stop the travel, it of course is pulled up. So that being said, someone did try to perform a repair attempt, and they used a little piece of aluminum, and you could see they placed the bushing on the end. And in theory, it is not a bad idea. I can understand where they're coming from, but the fact that they used just a piece of aluminum or whatever, and it's it was all wobbly, and I'm sure it failed pretty early on. So anywho, and in closing, I'm going to have to figure out, of course, what I'm going to do to replace that structure or stop that's busted off of there. I think I can use this this bad repair attempt, and I say bad because, again, the general idea behind it was okay. It's just that it was just way too flimsy, and the way that it was secured to the to this plastic key bed, it was just held in place by two little screws, and you can see that it split, and it started just shifting all around, and it failed, and I'm sure it failed early on. So anyways, I'm going to figure out something a lot more stout, of course. Use this as a general template. That's about the only good thing that's going to come out of this. I'm not going to do it exactly the same, but I think that this is a good start, and I will shape it from there and use some stout little bolts and washers and all that to secure it to the key bed instead of just a couple small little screws, obviously. So that's where I am on this, and I am going to have some help coming into the shop. I'm taking on a new apprentice to join me here every now and then, a day here, a day there, for starters. See how it works out. So that's going to be good. I'll have somebody here to help me get through this major push that I have going on for the next few weeks or so. I'm going to be diving into pretty much nothing but synth work as far as the real heavy stuff. And heavy as in not weight, but just involved the real heavy stuff. And of course I got other stuff I'm going to be going back and forth on, but the main thrust of everything is going to be getting these synths out the door, because I have another shipment of synths I have to pick up. So anyways, that's where things stand. As I always say, folks, peace, love, music, and the vintage audio that brings it to your ears. Till next time.
This is a poor man's shoe production.